Good morning, everyone. I'm Connie Myers, and it's Saturday morning, and it's 10 o'clock. Oops. And so it must be to 70 and beyond. I'm on a little bit late because I went to pull everything up on my computer for BeLive, and there's a major update going on. It looks like it's going to take forever, so I had to hop on live on my phone. So anyway, good morning. I hope you all are having a fabulous morning. I don't know about you guys, but I had one heck of a week. I'm looking a little tired, that's why. So it was a crazy busy week. I did 3 webinars, one for a general one, which I'm going to be posting later on today, and about the flash sale that we're having with the Crisis Knowledge Management certification. We're having a big flash sale that goes until December 1st, so I hope you'll check that out. I'll post the information on my Facebook pages. Also, I did one for Exit Realty, which was so much fun. We did it, Tammy Bennell and I did it together. What a joy that was. What an incredible woman she is. And then I did one yesterday for the California Association of Realtors for their association executives, which was a lot of fun. And in the evenings, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and tonight, I am doing my dear friend every year in honor of her son who was killed by a hunting accident many years ago. She does something called the Hope to Hope Conference, and we bring on amazing people. It's 3 hours with an after party every night, so it's a major big deal. Amazing. I'll be talking more about some of the amazing people that were on. But the question is, are we having fun yet? And I can tell you, even though I'm exhausted, I had the time of my life sharing the story of how we are going to help 30 million Americans be better prepared for disasters, and how people can benefit and support their communities. So we're going to be talking more about Cheryl Knowlton's book, I'm Only Half Crazy. This week we're talking about chapters 10 through 14, but it's very appropriate. So these chapters actually talk a lot about how to find help, and how to find happiness, and how to support yourself in all those areas. So it's truly a perfect time. We're coming into Thanksgiving. I hope all of you have a wonderful but very safe Thanksgiving. I know I am going to. So I'm still going to cook the turkey. I'm still going to do all of that, but it's going to be a very small, quiet, close family party. So chapter 11, she's in Jackson Hole for a half marathon, and she says, exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together, you've got a kingdom. That's from Jack LaLanne. So number 11 is fuel yourself, and that to me brings up all kinds of connotations. She did this marathon while she was doing a 3-week juice cleanse, which she had told would be plenty of nutrition for her half marathon. She says, I had been told that running a half marathon while juicing would be easy, and that my body would be adequately fueled by the juice alone. To say this was not my experience would be an understatement of the century. I absolutely beat myself up mentally and emotionally when I found out that I actually needed food to be successful in running 13.1 miles. She goes on to say, you must fuel yourself, both metaphorically as well as physically. You've got to eat the right foods that will energize you to take on that race. So whatever race you on, this would be a good week, since it's Thanksgiving, to take a look at what foods you're eating, and are you putting much processed foods into your body? What can you do to improve the nutrition of your body? And then metaphorically, what can you do to improve the race you're running of your life? What are some things? Are you meditating? Are you breathing? Are you staying present? Are you beating yourself up? Are you looking at failures as failures instead of course corrections? What are some things that you can do metaphorically to help you win the race of life? Throughout the day, energize with healthy snacks like almonds and protein bars. And remember to drink your water. I still have a problem with that. I don't know about you guys, but I have a terrible time. I figured out, though, that if I use a straw, and I've got some of those metal straws now, that I actually drink more water than if I just try to drink it out of a cup. here I am 72 years old and I just figured that out. Chapter 12 is about pump it up. I'm not sure if it is what Plato was thinking, but for me, it's all about filling my heart and my head with powerful music that moves me, inspires me, and gets me happy, energized, and pumped up. So I listen to music all day long. As a matter of fact, I pretty much listen to music all the time. The TV goes on a few minutes in the morning, and that's really, I very, very seldom watch TV at night. But I listen to music until I go to sleep, and I listen to my meditation. So what kind of music? For me, I want music that's going to energize me. So I like really pump them up kind of songs. And I really, at night, I love really quiet jazz or ballads or that sort of thing. So she says, my half marathon playlist is currently composed of 116 songs and contains 7 hours and 36 minutes of music that averages 128 plus beats per minute. That's powerful music there. And then she goes on to say, you can also use music in your regular life. Use a powerful, fun, upbeat playlist to pump you up when you get up in the morning to start your day, and then another list to calm you down and help you sleep at night. I raised my 4 fabulous daughters on fun and fabulous music to help us get through difficult times, like long drives and cleaning the house. Some of my most treasured memories of raising my girls are concerts in the car. Oh, I love that. My radio, if I'm not listening to a book, is full blast in the car. These concerts occurred on road trips like the one we took when we moved from Utah to California and then back again 2 years later. Road trips fill my soul tank. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking the other day, with being quarantined and with the exception of going to see my friend in California because she's passing, I'm so dying to get in my car and do a road trip. I have a convertible, so I love putting the top down, putting the music full blast, and cruising down the road. That's when I do my very, very, very best thinking. What is it that you do that helps you make your very best thinking come out? So if music fills your soul and helps you to overcome things, then listen to music. If it's something else, make sure that becomes a priority in your life. I have a friend that plays a lot of golf. That's what fills his soul tank. So what is it that you can do to fill your soul tank and help pump you up? Chapter 13. Oh, this was a good one. She did the Haunted Halloween half in Provo Canyon, Utah. She ended up, this was in December, or this was on Labor Day of 2017. And she started to race, by the end of the first, started doing this race, and then all of a sudden her foot started bothering her. And by the end of the race, she was in excruciating pain. She says, a few weeks later, I signed up for the Haunted Halloween half. I love the race, and I love races in Provo Canyon. I wasn't going to let a silly foot injury stop me. My gut told me to have my foot checked out. But despite the pain I was experiencing, I ignored what my gut said. I used to not just ignore my gut and my inner voice. I used to argue with it. I can tell you that I actually had a partner, even though I knew I shouldn't have partnered with him, and my instinct said, don't do it. And I partnered with him for about 4 years, and he took me for over $250,000. So and I should have learned my lesson then, but I didn't. I didn't really learn how to listen to my instincts until a little bit less than 10 years ago after my husband passed away. And I started paying attention to that stuff. So what is your inner voice telling you right now? Is it telling you to get off that silly foot and go to the doctor? Or is it telling you that it's full steam ahead? She did go to the doctor after the race, and she ended up going to see a physical therapist who also was an ultra marathoner, and he did a gait test on her, and she says he filmed both from the side and from the back, and then Steve said the magical brain-bending words, okay, I can tell immediately by looking at you what the problem is. The good news is it's totally fixable. So what things are we doing in our lives that we may think we're doing right, but are actually have been wrong for a long time? Are we causing our own pain? Oh man, does that hit home to me? I think, especially before Tom died, I was creating a lot of my own pain and didn't even know it. So this week of Thanksgiving, this would be a really good time to be thankful for the life that you have, the people that are in your lives, and also to be thankful that if you are experiencing pain, that it's fixable. And the first place you want to look is into your own head. That's why it's so important to have a coach, because I tell you what, I've had several major experiences that have shown me how important it is to have somebody tell you the truth, and we don't tell ourselves the truth. We have to hear it from somebody else that is objective. I wouldn't have written this course if it hadn't been for Kirsten O'Shield putting her finger in my face and telling me I didn't know what I was doing. That was a very direct, coaches usually don't do that, but she was a friend. I have another friend that when I said many years ago, this was probably at least 6 years ago, maybe 7, when she was asking me what it was I really, really wanted, I said, you know, I've been involved with the real estate industry, with the home inspection business and the education. I'd really like to do something outside the real estate industry. And she sat me down and she says, well, how many people do you know in the real estate industry? And I go, well, it's the main part of the people that I do know. So she says, okay, well, you need to think about that. So you need to start with that if that's really where you want to go. Thank God she talked to me, because now my tribe of realtors and people in the industry are my dearest and best friends. Sorry about the dog. She's barking at somebody coming in the door. So what is it that you maybe need to go and see a coach, or who is it that you have as a mentor that you can go to? If you're experiencing some kind of a problem, they can look at it objectively. The other thing you need to know is a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a very dear friend, a family member are not the people you should be talking to. One of two things is going to happen. You're not going to like what they have to hear and you're going to argue with them, or they're not going to be honest with you. So find somebody that is outside of your domain and is not, maybe it's a casual friend or somebody that you trust to give you an honest answer. And if somebody does come to you and say something to you like these two people did, then listen to them. Listen to what they have to say and take it in. I never take constructive criticism in the wrong vein. As a matter of fact, I thrive on people giving me suggestions of what I should do and make me think about what other direction maybe I need to think about going. We are human and therefore imperfect by nature. There's always areas where we can improve. With the help of a coach or a mentor whose opinion we value, we can make huge improvements, generally from very small changes, and that is very true. Just a simple little mindset, which is what I've been working on over these last few years. Changing my mindset so that I'm actually in the right frame, right? Chapter 14, looking up. You know that adage, smell the roses? Well, this is what she's talking about. She says, so often I find myself plodding along, running with my head down. Not only is it really, really bad for my posture, but it is bad metaphorically too. I remember running down a gorgeous Utah canyon during one half, and the mountains towered above me on both sides. The sun was coming up upon behind me. I suddenly became aware I was only looking at my shoes. I was not looking up. I was entirely failing to enjoy the majestic beauty surrounding me on every side. I found on one or more occasion that when I fail to look up, I often trip over my own feet. That's why it's so important to celebrate our successes and our gratitudes and make sure that we are looking around and observing. In the disaster course, I talk about an acronym called STOP. And this could be used if you're facing a disaster, or it also is something you can do on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing you do is you stop. You stop everything that you're doing. You then think about, take some time to breathe, and then observe what's going on inside of you, and then observe what's going on around you. And then proceed. What is the way to move forward? That'll help you to keep from tripping on your own feet. When you're in the middle of the journey, you look up and enjoy the beauty. You take note of all the good things that are happening, celebrating your successes. Just look around. Look at all the things that are going well for you. Yeah, and crisis knowledge management certification is a huge success. They've already been my 30 million. I've already tackled probably over 4,000 that are better prepared than they were before this. So I mean that's a teeny tiny beginning to 30 million, but it's a beginning. So the way to do that is to, every time I help someone be better prepared, give them a suggestion they hadn't thought about, do a webinar, do a workshop, just do a Facebook Live about it. If I help one more person, that's how I get to the 30 million. One person or one small group at a time is how you do anything. So look around at all the things and celebrate those baby steps, those little successes, because that's how you're going to get to the big successes. We all have moments of doubt and discouragement. We all have moments where we trip and fall. Many of us call those failures, and I'm here to tell you there is no such thing as a failure. It is actually just a course correction. So make sure that you actually look at that and say, okay, what is the adjustment that I need to make in my life? And then she says, every morning I start my day by writing my gratitudes. Writing things down that you're grateful for and writing things down that are successes you had from the day before help to actually change the chemistry in your brain. That gives you more of the oxytocin and takes away the bad hormones. So writing those things down, I like to put them in 2 jars. And that way, if I'm not feeling it that day, I can go back and read those, or go back and read through your journal. She was talking about the book, The Miracle Morning. If you've not done that, starting your day intentionally with habits and practice will help you to look up and pay attention. Chapter 15 is have fun. Before Tom died, I didn't know really how to have fun. I thought I did, but I was all about work. If I didn't have anything else to do, I was working. And I didn't look around to try to find things to have fun. Life is too hard for it to not be fun. Find ways to infuse joy into your life every single day. Doing Facebook Lives for me, or helping somebody envision their vision of what they want for their life, or talking about CKM Advisor, or any of those things. Those give me great joy, and it makes me smile. The music makes me smile. I love entertaining. If you come to my house, I promise you will be well nutritionally fed. So be prepared to have fun. Look for ways to have fun. There's a wonderful book by Sean Aker called The Big Advantage. And he talks about how happiness is what brings us to success. Success doesn't bring us happiness. Happiness brings us success. And he gives examples of how changing the attitude and how creating an atmosphere of happiness in like, one of them was a hospital, one of them was a school that he did. He was a Harvard business professor. She also talks about another book. I'm trying to find the name of it. Oh, it's called right here. A gal by the name of Michelle McCullough, and I've not read this book, but I'm going to be getting it. In the book called The Happiest, she says to make 2 lists of things that make you happy. 1 list of things that do cost you money, and 20 things that do not cost you money. She says there's plenty of things out there that we can make us happy that don't cost us a dime. The true reward is the awareness of the things that make me happy by completing that list. Knowing what makes you happy leads you to seek more things in your life to make you happy. And that's because, once again, we are changing the hormones in our brains. So finding that way. So much adulting, she calls it, is not fun. Bills, relationships, taxes, job challenges, health-related issues, none of these things are inherently funny. Sprinkling what Michelle refers to as pockets of happiness throughout our lives makes everything so much more. Metaphorically, every mile we run in life is not necessarily magical, but surrounding ourselves with music and joyful distractions can elevate even the most mundane moments to moments that will have us whistling while we walk or work. All right, well, I don't think there could have been more 5 more appropriate chapters in her book for this week that we're stepping into for Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving, I am so thankful and grateful for my family, my incredible team, and all of you that have supported me all these years. I can't believe I'm like 2.5 years into doing to 70 and beyond already. Next week, I have a really special surprise. Cheryl is going to be joining me for the last 5 chapters. So I am so excited that she's going to be on board with me and be doing the 270 Beyond. Now, she's nowhere near 70, just so you know. But she's agreed to come on because I just love this little book. I highly recommend you get it. Mine is all marked up. I got all kinds of notes at here that I wanted to share with you. So it's available on Amazon. Go on there. I'm Only Half Crazy. Life Lessons Learned While Running 20 Half Marathons. It's a brilliant, brilliant little book. So thank you so much for joining. Happy Thanksgiving, Cheryl. It's so good to see you. I hope all is well. Anyway, I'm hoping that you have an absolutely beautiful, blessed Thanksgiving and that you are happy, and please, please, please be safe. Keep it small, keep it virtual. Whatever it is you do to be safe in your area with the numbers rising, we all have to take extra precautions this year. And then hopefully next year we'll have a full-on 20 people. I love having big Thanksgivings, like 20 plus people. So I'm looking forward to next year. It won't happen this year, but I think there's going to be 6 of us because it's just immediate family that's been around. So I love you all. Please have a beautiful Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you next week on To 70 and Beyond. Mwah.